everyone, my name is Chris, and today we're going to be starting an experiment that I wanted to do regarding starting pepper seeds. The experiment consists of starting some pepper seeds in soil blocks, and I'm going to be starting some pepper seeds in just regular pots. This is the first year that I'm actually trying out soil blocks, so I'm really curious to see which one works better or if I like one over the other. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you're interested in following along, make sure you hit that subscribe. So I have quite a few pepper varieties that I'm going to get started. I have two 10 by 20 trays here, and each one of them consists of 50 soil blocks. Most of them look good. However, there are a couple that look like this. But overall, they're looking great, and I'm very, very pleased with my first attempt at soil blocking. If you want to see how I made these soil blocks, I will link the video below that shows, well, literally how I was making these about 2 or 3 hours ago. And if you have any tips on how to make them better, please put them in the comments, as I would greatly appreciate anything I can learn to improve. I think I'm gonna split these up and do one tray with bell peppers and one tray with hot peppers. I have 6 different types of bell peppers here that I'm gonna start. This is the chocolate beauty pepper, the Jupiter bell pepper, the golden California wonder pepper, bullnose pepper, just a regular California wonder pepper, and the King of the North, not to be confused with Jon Snow. And if you've never seen Game of Thrones, just ignore that. For most of these, I'm going to do 2 rows of each type. With the exception of the California wonder pepper, I'm going to do 1 of each type. Ordinarily, I would be planting 2 seeds in each pot just to make sure that at least one of them germinates. But since these are so small, I'm only going to put 1 seed in each one. And if one doesn't germinate, then that's okay. First is the King of the North. So each of these soil blocks has this little indent in it. That's where you put the seed. I'm just gonna lay the packet on top so I don't forget what they are. This is the chocolate beauty. Oops, oops, dang it. There we go. Next is the Jupiter bell. We have 1 lonely bullnose pepper seed left, so I'll have to remember that. I'll make a note of that, and I'll put this on my list of the seeds that I need to buy for next year. It's very important that you keep track of that. Otherwise, you might think you have enough of a variety, and then you go to plant it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I only have 1, and you'll be super disappointed. So this is just the California wonder pepper. And last but not least is the California golden wonder pepper. I'm going to go back through and just lightly cover these seeds. So our bell peppers are ready to set aside. Here's the other tray. for our hot peppers. So for hot peppers, I have an early jalapeno pepper. I have a Craig's Grande jalapeno pepper, serrano, a poblano, paprika, a normal version of cayenne, and then I have kind of a bush version of cayenne. And then one of the free seed packets that I got from Seeds and Such when I ordered my onion seeds called Fire and Ice. I'm only going to be able to do 2 rows of 2 of these types of peppers in here because I just don't have enough rows to do 2 of all of them, since I have a few more hot peppers than I do the bell peppers, but that's okay. We're still going to be starting some in pots as well, so I will still end up with enough. The early jalapeno is one I'm doing 2 rows of, and then this poblano is the other. Those are 2 of our favorite hot peppers. I've never tried this early jalapeno variety before, so I hope I love it. I think instead of going back, I'm just gonna go ahead and cover them now because, well, now that I think about it, it just seems a lot more efficient to do it this way. Oops, I was not supposed to put a seed in between the blocks. I'm not going to be able to get that out without tearing up the blocks, so we just have a stray serrano seed. I grew this container variety of cayenne last year, and it did really well. I was very pleased with it, so I'm excited to grow it again. So this Fire and Ice only has 5 seeds in it. So I guess we will not be planting any of this in pots. Of course, the next step to this is to label everything. These are all ready to go. Let's get our containers ready. I've went ahead and cleaned some pots and got them all sprayed down with hydrogen peroxide, so I know that these should be completely ready for new seeds. Should be. So let's go ahead and get them filled with soil. You know, I was just thinking, last year when I was starting seeds, I actually wet my soil before I put them in the containers. That way I was planting seeds into wet soil like I did with the soil blocks, and I actually really liked that. I have no idea why I haven't done that so far this year. I'm gonna start with my bell peppers again. I'm gonna plant 2 in each pot, just like I normally would. I always plant 2 seeds in each pot just to make sure that I get at least one that germinates. And then the other one I can thin out if I wanted to, but usually I just repot them each into their own pots once they're big enough. Our California Wonder Pepper is first. Golden California Wonder Pepper is next. I actually only have 1 seed left for bullnose, so we only plant 1. I think I'm gonna plant paprika as these other 2 because I don't need very many of those. Now King in the North. Chocolate Beauty will be next. Last but not least is the Jupiter Bell. So now that I'm actually thinking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and wet the soil for the hot peppers before I put it in these pots and plant them. And all you do now is just mix it up. Now we have damp soil. Up first is the Serrano. Poblano. The early jalapeno be third. Craig's Grande, number 4. Number 5 will be the Cayenne, the regular Cayenne. And last but not least is the Dragon Cayenne. And that is the last of the Dragon Cayenne seeds I have. That ended up perfect. Perfect number of pots, perfect number of seeds. I love it when it works out. These ones are ready to be labeled and then put over on the shelf. Get the other ones watered, since I didn't think about that beforehand. Now our labels. Paprika. The north. We're back here with my seed starting station, ready to set up the peppers. Now there's one big difference in starting peppers versus starting many other seeds, and that is peppers really like to have heat in order to germinate. Typically, room temperature just isn't enough warmth for them. They like it between 75 to 85 degrees. You want to use what's called a heat mat, and this is going to add heat to the seeds that will give them the right conditions to be able to germinate. Now my seed mats are older. They still work fantastic, but they are older and they don't come with thermostats. If you can find one with a thermostat, I highly recommend getting one like that. And I'll find a good one and put a link in the description. But I've used these just plain old seed mats for, gosh, I don't know how many years, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years. Quite a long time, and they've worked fantastic each time. So hopefully they'll work again this year. I haven't tried them yet. Up here I have the peppers we started in soil blocks. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to slide this heat mat underneath. I want to make sure that it's covering as much of the bottom of the tray as I can, so that way the heat is in contact with all parts of the tray. We have our soil blocks up here. Here we have our hot peppers in the pots. Then down below here we have the bell peppers in pots. I hope you'll stick around to see if either of these methods do better and if it makes a difference, the soil blocks versus the containers. I'm excited to see if there's a difference, and I will definitely be posting updates, so look for those. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that so you'll get notification of those updates. And if you haven't hit the like button already, it would mean so much to me. So thank you so much for joining me today as we start this experiment, and I really hope to see you next time.